been revealed to me is that my experience as a new mom is something that could help other moms. And so what I mean by that is I'm actually releasing a mom journal. And so it is in the works. It's written. I wrote it during March, April, and I had my son in October, went back to work in January, and I did that because I just thought, okay, well, everybody's coming back to work. This is a great time for me to go back. It won't be as weird for me to be back at school after being gone for 2 months. And I realized that I had gone back a little too soon and I wasn't ready. And so it became something where I was like, all right, well, I just got to make it to spring break and then I can spend more time. And it was just like the detachment. And I know that's an issue in the United States of moms not having enough time to actually spend with their kids. And then putting them in daycare because that was our only choice. And so just all the things that come with that were really what inspired me to write the journal. And just to be transparent, because this is going to come out in the journaling way. Hey, Zona. Hey, Chantel. Thank you. And so I do share my birth story in the journal. And for those of you that don't know, my pregnancy went very well. I didn't really have any complications. When I had my son, hey, Catherine, I was progressing like normal. My water had broken, and then I got an epidural, and that kind of slowed things down. And so I'm the type of person that likes to plan things out like, all right, these are all the possible scenarios that could happen in this situation. And I know that kind of sounds crazy because in birth, you can't really control what happens. The baby does its thing. And, but I felt like if I could know the possible outcomes, that I'd be able to give some kind of control to it. And so when things stopped going according to plan, then it became something where I was like, I wasn't as flexible as I should have been. And then, so then I ended up having a C-section because I wasn't progressing. And then after that, I had a really hard time nursing. And so that was like another stumbling block for me. My son was perfect. He was fine. Everything was fine. And so then I had guilt about having, like, feeling off or feeling like I wasn't, like, I wouldn't say perfect because you shouldn't aim to be perfect. But feeling as if I was inadequate because my body didn't do what it was supposed to do when I needed it to do it. And then now I'm trying to recover from major surgery to the point where you're only allowed to walk up and down the stairs once a day, sleeping on the couch because the bed's too high and it's uncomfortable. Literally feeling like someone has stabbed you in the stomach because that's what it feels like. And then trying to take care of this newborn. And so it was just a time where, these are the first couple of weeks after having a baby, it just was a time where I couldn't really enjoy it the way that I envisioned. I had this plan in my head and it just wasn't working out the way that I had envisioned that it was going to work out. And so from that time and talking to other new moms and realizing like it's totally normal to feel this way. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't have to stay this way. And then also, of course, praying, listening to music as well. And if it had gotten worse, I would have gone and seen a doctor, but it didn't, thankfully. I think I had more of baby blues versus postpartum. And so that's basically the inspiration why I wrote the journal, is to basically help first-time moms really just process their thoughts, think through their feelings, and have a place to collect everything so that it's not just stuck in their head. It's something that I wish I would have had during the first couple weeks with my son, just because as AD mom, you have all these thoughts and all these feelings, and you're worried about all these things, like, is he eating enough? Is he sleeping enough? Like, all these things just go through your head. And so it's just a place to record things about you, and then also to record things about the baby. This journal in particular will focus mostly on the mom, because what I was finding when I was looking for a journal is that most of the ones that I could see, they focus mostly on the baby, which is kind of the transition that happens when you're pregnant. Everybody's like, oh, you're glowing. Like, they check on you so many times and things like that, which they should, which is fine. And then once you have the baby, then all the attention shifts to them. And then you're kind of just left to like figure it out by yourself. And so that's why I wrote this journal, to be able to help the mom take care of herself, and also to really think about what she's feeling, how she's feeling, knowing that it's okay to feel that way, knowing that it's okay to not be perfect, because there is no perfect, and also validating your feelings and giving you an outlet. Not saying this is replacing therapy. Like Chantel's on here. If you need a therapist, I recommend her. She does marriage and families, teenagers. She's got you covered. Not saying to replace therapy, but just to have a secondary thing. Journaling is something that's very powerful to express yourself, to get your ideas out. I know for a lot of people, things are revealed to them through journaling. And so that's another reason why I wrote the journal. And so the way that it's set up, it's It's set up by week. So you have week 1 through week 52 to take you through your child's first year of life. And the questions are thought-provoking. They're ones that will, and I'll share some as we get closer to the time of the release and throughout the process. And I also share like the cover designs, things like that. I want to get you guys' input on stuff like that to keep you involved. But it shares, so each week you'll have a different question, a different prompt, and then there's a space for you to write down your feelings in general. And then I'll also include new mommy resources. And so things like postpartum doula, contact information, therapist information. It'll include recipes as well, because thankfully for me, I had made my food ahead of time. I did my make ahead meals, which are freezer meals. And so the first 2 months that we were home with my son, we were able to save $200 a month because I had made 22 different meals. So I did like soups for lunch. I did different things for dinner, and it was stuff that could just be thrown in the crock pot or thrown in the Instant Pot. And so that was the time where Marshall learned how to use the Instant Pot, because I was on the couch and I couldn't help him. And so it was a godsend to have that. So I'll share those things as well in the journal for those that purchase and things like that. And so, so yes, I just wanted to come on and share that announcement.